right, we move on to sports news now. Here's Charles Aruka. Hi, Charles.
Well, thank you, Gemma. Welcome to sports news. The not-so-Super Eagles of Nigeria lost to Jordan 1-0 in an international friendly played in Amman today. In what was seen by many as a drab encounter, the home-based Eagles, led by goalkeeper Chigozie Agbim, struggled to keep up with the Jordanians. A first-half penalty gave Nigeria's opponents victory in the match. The friendly was part of preparations for the 2014 African Nations Championship.
Into the danger area for the Super Eagles and an acrobatic kick. And Jordan, it seems that the referee has given them a penalty. It's going to be a penalty kick against the Super Eagles. And the captain of the side, Hatem Akwel, has lined up to take out this penalty. And he takes the ball. And that gets the better of goalkeeper Chigozie Agbim. And Jordan...
A former Flying Eagles coach, John Obu, has been appointed the new head coach of Top Glow Premier League side Rangers International of Enugu. Obu is expected to turn around the fortunes of the Flying Antelopes, who have failed to land any major silverware on the national or international scene in over 2 decades. Obu says he is happy with the opportunity given him to lead one of the country's most traditional outfits, promising to do his best possible to lead the team to success on all fronts. In Europe, UEFA President Michel Platini wants the World Cup expanded from 32 to 40 teams. The 58-year-old proposed the move after FIFA President Sepp Blatter suggested more countries from Africa and Asia should qualify at the expense of those from Europe. Europe has 13 slots in the current setup, while Africa has 5 and Asia 4, plus a playoff place. Platini's idea for 40 teams would see 8 groups of 5 at the World Cup, as opposed to the present structure of 8 groups of 4. The move could come in for the 2018 tournament in Russia. And still on Russia, the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach has praised Russia's preparations for the 2014 Winter Games in the Black Sea resort of Sochi during an inspection visit with President Vladimir Putin today. Bach said in his first comments about Russia's readiness for the Games that the sports body is fully confident that the Games will be at a magnificent level. Russia is spending more than $50 billion on the February Games, a top priority for Putin to showcase the country's modern face to the world 2 decades after the fall of the Soviet Union. And in golf, world number 6 Rory McIlroy produced some dazzling golf on the back nine to overcome a sniffling Tiger Woods by 1 shot in their lucrative match at Mission Hills in China today. The double major winning Northern Irishman shot a 6-under par 67 to beat the world number 1's 68 in the exhibition match. McIlroy has endured a disappointing winless year, but his game looks to be heading in the right direction for the final weeks of the European Tour season. According to British media reports, both men earned in excess of $1.5 million.
It's good. It's always fun to play with Tiger in events like this, and we have a lot of fun. And it's great that we can bring this, these sort of matches to places like China and across the world, and hopefully we can do that in the future as well.
Oh, we had a great time today. I think that everyone out here enjoyed it. We didn't really play probably our best in our front nine, but on the back nine we got it going, and shooting 5 and 6 under par respectively. We got it going.
Well, that's it on sports news. It's back to Ijoma for the rest of the news at 10.
Guinness, made of more.
On the foreign scene now, dozens of African migrants crossing the Sahara Desert on their way to Europe have died of thirst in Niger, and that was on one of the main routes that migrants from West Africa use to reach Europe. Here's Cynthia Are with the details.
Well, based on what we know for now, the convoy was heading to Tamanrasset, after which that one vehicle broke down. Passengers went to look for spare parts and bring them back for repairs. The migrants then broke into small groups and started walking. Days later, the survivors who reached Arlit then alerted the army. Sadly, by the time the troops arrived at the scene, it was too late. Those left behind consisted of entire families, including very many children and women. Also today, the Storm St. Jude has done plenty of damage. It's killed at least 4 people during its sweep across France, Belgium, the Netherlands and Germany. Dutch and German airports have cancelled many flights, and as much as 580,000 homes have been affected. Then, Spain has urged the United States to give details of any eavesdropping amid reports it monitored 60 million Spanish telephone calls in 1 month. The U.S. ambassador to Spain, who had been summoned by its EU minister, vowed to clear the doubts that had arisen about his country's alleged espionage. The minister said such practices, if true, were inappropriate and unacceptable. Finally today, an airstrike in southern Somalia has killed 2 senior commanders of militant Islamist group Al-Shabaab. The strike destroyed the vehicle the militants were traveling in between the towns of Jilib and Barawe, seen as a major base of Al-Shabaab. The U.S. launched a failed raid in Barawe earlier this month to capture an Al-Shabaab commander. And there you have it. Those are the top stories on the foreign scene.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. Now, singer Brimo has released a new album titled Merchant, Dealers and Slaves, following a contract dispute with Chocolate City label. Here's Ogechukwu Ose, who takes us through entertainment news.
On Entertainment News tonight, Chocolate City singer Brimo has gone ahead to release his controversial Symphomo album, despite the court order received by the record label prohibiting him from doing so. And the Arambe singer, who has been trying to abandon his 5-year contract with Chocolate City, released the album titled Merchants, Dealers and Slaves over the weekend. Chocolate City is yet to react to this development. Meanwhile, former Chocolate City in-house producer and rapper Jesse Jaggs has tweeted a tongue-in-cheek support for Brimo. Now, still on new music, UK-based Nigerian hip-hop artist Alaye is seeking a return to mainstream music as he teamed up with Grammy Award-winning Jamaican reggae crooner Sean Paul in this track, Living Up.
Watching me, watching you, watching me, I'm living my life now.
Alaye came to limelight in 2006 after appearing on P-Square's Temptation remix. An Empire-mate entertainment singer Wizkid has released a music video for his currently raving track Jaye Jaye featuring Afrobeat singer Femi Kuti. The new video was directed by London-based Nigerian director Sheson and portrays Wizkid in a Fela impression, includes scenes from the New African Shrine with Femi Kuti. Now to movies. Yul Edochie, son of veteran actor Peter Edochie, will star alongside Noela Ujubibu and Jibola Deba in an okay Oakley's Love and Oil movie.
And she will do my bidding.
Still talking Hollywood, ailing actor Park Kasulu has finally received 1.5 million naira and 2 million naira donation from the Lagos State government and Ogun State government respectively. And his family is still insisting on sending him abroad for adequate medical care. And on the foreign scene, hip-hop artist Chris Brown has been arrested and charged with assault after getting into a fight with a man outside a hotel near the White House. Brown, who is still on probation for a 2009 assault on then-girlfriend Rihanna, has been charged with felony alongside a man purported to be his bodyguard. And that's all on Entertainment News tonight. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Thanks a lot, Ogechukwu. And the main news again. A town hall meeting of the National Dialogue Committee in Edo State today turned rowdy as some participants opposed Governor Adams Oshomole's no-faith position on the planned conference. And in reaction to that disruption, the Presidential Advisory Committee on National Dialogue condemned the rowdiness that marred its meeting in Benin City, that's the Edo State capital. The committee condemned the role played by one of its own members, who it said joined the crowd in shouting the governor down. Insisting that it's committed to upholding the principles of democratic discourse, the committee warned that it would not condone the kind of unruly behavior witnessed in Benin City. Now, Governor Ibrahim Gaidam has urged the presidency to deploy more troops to check the insurgency in Yobe State. A meeting of attorneys general today in Abuja discussed the need to harmonize the country's penal and criminal codes. And dozens of migrants have died of thirst in Niger as they try to cross the Sahara Desert on their way to Europe. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Wenyato. Do have a good night.